We are back for another Zwift race. Today we are lining up for stage 4 of the Zwift Games on peaky pave. So let's jump right into the action at the start. The goal for today is pretty simple. It's the same tactics I use in every race I do. Let everybody else do the work. Try to sit in as much as possible, conserve energy when I can, where I can, recover anytime when possible, and then on the final climb, light it up. Give it all I have left in the tank and see how you do. Try to get in that top 10. It's always a top 10 goal for me, not necessarily the win, but just top 10. And I don't know what that guy's doing. He's having a little bit of an issue with his steering. Kind of funny riding by that. Didn't know what was happening. But here we go. We're starting, pushing on the pedals. These first few kind of minutes, kilometers, whatever you want to call them, they are always the fastest part of the race besides the finish. I mean, the start and the end is really the race for these Zwift races. And we get established, and I see next to me that I know somebody in this race, which is pretty cool. I rarely race with people I know. You'll see he makes his own decisive move at the end. But for here and now, we are just ripping ahead to that first climb. Nothing really happened in those first miles. It's just a lot of pushing the pace, staying in the group, trying to conserve as much energy as possible, which is hard in these races because the group can split so quick. And I don't like being out of position. I don't like fading towards the back. I like being at the front. As much as I want to save that power, it's really hard because in the blink of an eye, your race can just disappear. So going up this first climb, I was feeling okay. I wasn't feeling great really leading up to the race, and in the race as a whole, I noticed I was a little bit dehydrated and I didn't feel my best. I had done some kind of like strength Pilates core yoga yesterday, and that didn't really help my performance too much because I was a little tight. You know, yoga, you're kind of stretching your muscles in ways that they don't necessarily want to be stretched and or are used to be stretched. So I was a little bit tight going into the race, but I felt good enough to stick with the group. And I mean, I'm pushing pretty high power for what I normally do. I mean, almost 5 watts a kilogram. That's big boy numbers for me. So this is the A race also. So it's not going to be easy. You're going to be on those pedals on those climbs. And I really didn't have an issue. I stayed with the group. Wasn't feeling 100%, but I did enough and I burnt through that feather pretty early on. I didn't know we only got one power up. I thought we were going to get multiple, but I guess I should have read the rules before we started. So that's that. And yeah, this climb, it dragged on for a while, but the group stayed together. One guy went out front. I don't really know why you'd want to do this unless you just want the glory of going over the climb first. I mean, I don't know if you get something if you do because it's the Zwift Games. I mean, excuse my ignorance with the event, but in these races, it is just hold on to the end. They're not very long, but they are just a brutal hammer fest. I mean, it's like my favorite word when describing these events. It is just a hammer fest. So I sat in. I just kind of let the group flow around me. You're not going to get dropped as long as you're really on the pedals. You know, it's really about observing what other people are doing in terms of power and watts per kilogram, because that's what connects you to the group and the draft, the sticky draft. So here, you know, over the top, I pushed it up to like 6 watts a kilogram. Yeah, I was hurting pretty good. I needed to recover. I'm not going to lie. But luckily we had this nice back straight. And from here, I'm just going to skip right ahead to the next kind of penultimate moment. Nothing really happened, but we're just going to zoom ahead. I mean, everybody was hurting at this point. Nobody really mounted any attack or anything, which was nice. But see, you know, I just kind of let the group flow around me. I'm also using steering, which did help. In my last race, I did not use steering. I just forgot to like put it on underneath my front wheel, and it did help. I don't use it too often, so you'll probably have noticed by now that those barriers popped up because you can't stare into people, and I'm a little rusty. And here, finally, an attack, a move of some kind. One gentleman flew off the front. Nobody decided to chase him. I am out in the front, kind of pulling the group along here. But not doing that much power. You know, I'm sitting at 4 watts a kilogram, 300 watts, and the gentleman in front of me is doing 5.5, trying to create some separation. But I didn't want to chase him. Nobody else wanted to chase him. So I said, sayonara, good luck to you. I mean, if you can make it to the bottom of the climb with that, good luck. And jumping ahead, another gentleman decided to launch an attack. Didn't want to chase him again. I was still at the front pulling the group, but I'm going to zoom ahead here and you will see the whole bunch does form back up together. I mean, for me, when I see these moves, I'm just like, what is the point? It takes so much effort to actually make one of those attacks work, especially in Zwift, because you have to exceed the watts per kilogram of the bunch by so much higher that you're dead by the time you even get like 10-15 seconds, and like that's all you get unless you like are really able to mount a ridiculous attack, and at that point you're probably sandbagging anyway. So as you'll see, we keep him on the rope, keep him on the leash. There were 3 guys out front. One guy, I think, over the aqueduct KOM did make it to the group, but hey, we are all back together and we are just about to hit the base of the climb where the one gentleman who I know in the race, Kay McSherry, does something that I think everybody was waiting for, and it's coming up. You will see. He mounts the first attack at the base. So right around here, we slow down to normal speed. Nothing happens. So I decided to just, let's blast through all this boring yada yada. So you'll see he's actually glowing in blue because I am mutual friends with him on Zwift. So there he goes. He's pushing the power. I think he hits it up to like 7 watts a kilogram. And, you know, I talked to him after and it was pretty funny. He was like, man, why'd you chase me? Why'd you chase me down with the group? And I was like, man, I wanted to tell him, like, man, I didn't do anything. I did what I always do. I let other people burn out and I let other people win the race for me, you know? So I hung back with the group. Somebody always does this. It's inevitable. People get antsy. People get itchy to get this thing going, especially at the end. You know, we're hitting the base of the climb, and it's not bad to do a move like this, but you have to know what you got left in the tank, I think. And there's no way I was going to go with them, and there's no way I thought it was even worth it because I just know how these races play out. And I mean, it's like the breakaway in a pro peloton. Like, you never know. They could stay away, but most of the time they do get caught. And this situation is not unlike the situation that you see in a pro race or just a race in general. It doesn't even have to be a pro race. So I'm here on the bottom of the climb, and yeah, you know, at this point I'm feeling the effect of, I think, some dehydration. It kind of felt like the air around me was really dry, so I just couldn't take on enough water. I had like 2 water bottles that were 3/4 full from my warm-up, and I went through both of them. By the end of the race, I had no water left, and this is a 45-minute race, 50-minute race. So yeah, I was definitely a little bit dehydrated and feeling the effects of the yoga from yesterday. And just to touch some more on the yoga, I'm doing a 30-day challenge that started on March 11th. So it will conclude on April 10th. And I'm going to post a video on the effects of doing yoga for 30 straight days. Does it help me? Did it help my performance? Is it going to make me stronger? Do I feel a difference in my core strength? But anyway, back to the penultimate climb of the day. We are cranking it up this climb. I'm at 180 beats per minute. You know, when I think back to the Datter race I just did, I mean, I was sitting at that for 50 minutes. So I'm doing okay. Like my heart rate is already naturally high, and my max heart rate is in the 200s. So this doesn't bug me. So we're sitting 330. It's sustainable. I like to climb. I wouldn't do this type of thing if I didn't like to climb, trust me. And what was really going through my head at this moment was, okay, I just need to let everybody else burn themselves out. I need to let everybody else just take themselves out of this race for me. I can, you know, I'm still doing 400 watts, and I don't think I had made that kind of mental note yet. It might have been around here. I was kind of just looking at the grade and looking at the distance, And honestly, the end of the race kind of snuck up on me. I think it's really easy to get caught up in the thought that, man, if I go too early, I'm not going to have enough to make it to the line. And for me, at the end of these races, yeah, I'm tired, I'm thrashing the pedals, but I still have some more to give. I crossed that line, like, I'm not dead. So I just need to learn to trust that my legs are going to be able to carry me over the finish line with all the power I need, all that strength I need. And if you watch the last race I did, it's kind of similar to this because it's a uphill finish, but I'm quote unquote sprinting at such a high torque output that I can't get the RPMs up. So it's more like just like a standing, like stomping on the pedals attack. So we're nearing the end of the race and we're only going up a 2 to 3% grade right now. So it's allowing the group to stay together. We do still have the man out front, but as we near the last couple switchbacks, you will see that we do catch him. Everybody jumps on the pedals right about here, and it's just going to be too much to stay away in a race like this, where if you're going to win on a break like this, you're going to have some left in the tank at this point. You are already doing 6-7 watts per kilogram, but you need to mount a sprint. You have to boogie up these last couple switchbacks. And with the chasing of the bulls right behind you, in a situation like this where the group is now stretching out, everybody's stomping on the pedals. They're giving it their all. There's 2 switchbacks left, zero point 0.4 miles to the top, around 5-6% the rest of the way. It is a monumental task. So I'm still doing that thing where I'm sitting back. I am going to let people drift off. My power going up a little bit, but as you see, I just passed one guy where my power is a little bit less than 400. Like, I'm not sprinting yet. I'm not stomping on the pedals yet. There goes another one. And we're going to round this last hairpin. And if I could do this over again, this is where I would drop the hammer right now. I would do it when nobody was watching. I would do it when people are caught up trying to activate those feathers, just like he did. And that's why he got second. So that is absolutely the one main takeaway from this race today is trust in your legs. Know that you have the power within you. Know you can do it. So rather than waiting for the last real switchback to really turn on the power, stand up, give it my all, whatever I have left, just start a little bit earlier, because when I cross the line, I'm not out of it. I'm not dead. I still have some left to give. So I bully my way up to 6th place, and guys, I cannot complain about that one bit. I was feeling it. I was so happy with that. I think literally with that momentum, unless everybody stood up off the pedals at the same time, that would have carried me into a better finish. But 6th place is nothing to be upset about. I was so happy with that. And yeah, man, that's a great finish. So thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next video.